Hey everyone, here I am again in the outdoors. Yes, I cannot believe it either, but I just want to tell you guys that if you are one of those that have been going through this, you probably will understand and will figure better ways. Okay, so let me tell you what was my issue. Okay, so then you can figure out how you can help yourself. Okay, so when the quarantine, the news got off, my mother, well, there is not much to do for a old lady that doesn't speak English, and she just, is here for us, mom, for me, for my daughter. That's it. We are her family. We are her everything, right? So she loves us to death, right? So, and so she loves watching telenovelas. She loves watching the news, which that is where I'm going. So at that time, the news broke about coronavirus, and she just kept getting more and more and more stuff in her mind, and I was like trying, because remember, a lot of times the news gives a lot of negative content, which is hard for somebody with very limited knowledge on subjects to digest. Okay, she doesn't have a college degree, and she is just guided by what is happening and what is told, and the information she's getting it is from the news, right? So when this happened, she started getting into panic about as before the news. Okay, let me give you a background history. Okay, before the news, she always had been a very clean, she has been into the cleanliness. Okay, so she loves to clean her house with Clorox, and those floors must have Clorox first, and then you can put your Fabuloso to smell good, but you have to disinfect it well. Okay, and one thing, I never been I know the power of cleaning, but since I was young, I did a lot of cleaning, and cleaning is not my thing. Okay, I love to have other people that love cleaning to do the cleaning for me, because I do practice good hygienes. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying, as a child, when you had to earn your meals, you have to do whatever you can to survive, and when you get a different perspective in life and different ways that you can earn your living, you like, okay, I don't like this part of it. And I'm not saying that that is wrong, because you should never be ashamed of doing anything. I don't care what people tell you. Okay, if you're in the need and you need those resources, you need money, hey, don't ever be ashamed of doing anything. Okay, because remember, in this world, we're coming and we're going to survive, and we are in a survival mode. Okay, and sometimes in these times that we are, is when we realize where we stand, where we want to be, and where we at, right? And it's where what got us to here, and how we're going to respond to survive to this. And I'm telling you right now, we are scared. We all are scared, because we are scared of the unknown. It's very scary thought, but we need to be more into the idea of doing what we can control of, right? So what we can control is that we can add value to ourselves with knowledge. Knowledge is power. Okay, and right now there is a huge conflict, though, because we are in an era that there is tons of information, right? Information is information, okay? And remember, information in the wrong hands can be very, very, very scary and very debilitating, and can make some powerful and some powerless, okay? So you got it. Start using your critical thinking, okay? Critical thinking doesn't come from having a brilliant mind, okay? It comes from always asking and always thinking about the things, questioning everything, okay? Right now, questioning too much, it can get to the point that it's like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't want to even think about it, right? But at the same time, when you question things, you may get some value by answering those questions, okay? So, for instance, the way that we can productively question things is like, I'm trying to come up with some example, okay? I don't ever have a script of what to say. I just think of things, okay, through it. But, for instance, when you are researching about the infections, the chain of infections, okay, the transmission chain of infection, okay. So knowing how it's transmitted and how it spreads, those infections can be powerful, and the fact that you understand how it works, right? But does knowing that information alone, does it help? Not necessarily, right? We have to understand and have to learn to apply our knowledges, okay? So our knowledge needs to be further, not just you find information, okay, good, I read it, done. No, okay? So it's time for us to implement things, okay? I guess some people saying this virus is just a hoax. I don't believe what is happening, okay? All I can say to these people is like, regardless, okay? Let's hypothetically speaking say, okay, yes, it is a hoax. But what would you gain, or what would you lose by stating otherwise? Let's say if it's not a hoax, okay, you lose lives. By not using those preventative measurements, like use appropriate hand hygienes, use the appropriate personal protective equipment, like face mask. There is a lot of confusion about using protective personal equipment, okay? Because remember, not everybody is trained as a healthcare professional. Healthcare professionals know how to use the personal protective equipment, like gowns, like gloves, the mask, and what sequence you're going to put it on, and what sequence you're going to take it out. Because the way that you take those protective equipment, it's more important than using it itself. Because it comes to the point in there that it's, okay, the contamination kind of is what I'm trying to get there, okay? If you have touched, contaminated areas with your gloves, and then you go and take your mask careless without thinking of where your gloves have been, right? So that can cause what? You are contaminating yourself even worse than when you if let's say you have a disinfectant with you, you just disinfect your hand, and then you can touch places, right? So that's my point right there. I don't want to be rambling around because you guys don't have time for that stuff. And what I'm going to the point in here is like, we gotta be more conscientious about the things that we want to add in our brains and the things that we want to think about it, and the way that we want to act upon things. This is going to get worse. And there are many reasons why it's going to get worse, why more lives are going to be lost. And we already seeing this, okay, guys? We already seeing this. Right now, there have been so many lives lost because we didn't know about it, right? At the beginning, we didn't know that we had this insidious, this enemy that you cannot see with your naked eye. This enemy is very, very dangerous because we cannot just target it because we cannot see it. So, but we have to understand. It's like walking in a minded field, you know. You don't know when you're going to step on that mine, and that mine will go and blow you up, right? So just think it that way if that's going to help you, right? But don't underestimate this. The worst thing that can happen from overreacting is that, oh my God, I was so silly, I was doing this, haha. So what? Then look silly later on, but don't allow that in another life and another stressful day for some professionals and another crazy thing happen due to our careless attitude. You know, we have to care for each other. Right now it's hard. We are like trying to in this survival mode. Okay, like, okay, I'm just going to do me because nobody else just care, right? So if we just take that approach, we're not going to end well. We're not going to end well. And guys, this is an amazing opportunity to get this world to become the best place to live. I can see the possibilities. I can see the beauty of this place. You know, I have been talking back and forth with some people, and I feel very blessed. Some people open up to me and tell me things and very, very, very touching, you know, and they don't need to open up to some stranger, you know. But the thing is, you gotta realize that we got something here, and it's something very, very special, and we're not taking advantage of it. Um, we we came to this world without nothing, okay? We came naked, which, by the way, I love that feeling. Being naked is the best feeling ever, okay? Not having something strapped on me like, okay? And we will get out of this world literally without nothing too. You are building riches right now. It's not going to fit in your casket. And when you die, you just leave uh, a lot of issues behind. You know what I mean? A lot of fight between family members, or, you know, believe me or not, I've been through this. It's not something beautiful. It's not something. So if it's one thing that I want to leave my daughter, it's not money. I want to leave my daughter a legacy and a teaching and an environment, you know, the people that love her, the people that she can love back, the people that she feels that care, the people that is going to embrace those change, you know, those differences, you know. We're not perfect. Oh my goodness, we're not perfect. We made mistakes, and believe me, about mistakes, I'm kind of the pro of it because you make a lot of mistakes when you are a risk taker, okay? So, but those risk takers are the ones that gain the most too, okay? So don't be afraid of making mistakes. Embrace mistakes and learn from them, okay? I love the fact that I get to learn from some people, and that's one of my things too. I get in conversation. Okay, since I have been literally, I was 5 years old. That 5 years old is the age that I can recall everything in my life, and I have been thinking about why is that, right? And I remember that specific, and I have another video that I have done that I realized that that traumatic event is what made me grow up. I used to have such a big attachment to my grandmother, my father's mother, okay? She used to call me Chompipita Rebuscona. I know it's not going to make any sense, to a lot of you guys, but it's saying that I behaved like a little animal that is always searching around for food and stuff. So that was me. I was a chubby kid, and I will go to every house, for example, one of my aunt, and I will tell my aunt, hey, I'll clean up your dishes, I'll clean up your patio, but I want the meal. I want the lunch meal, because in my country, we eat meat in the lunch meal. We don't eat meat every meal unless you are wealthy, right? So I did that. That's a little business mood at that age, young. So, and also when I was young, like I don't understand if you guys, but when you have gray hair, you take those gray hair out so you don't continue growing them. That's what they claim, I guess. I don't know how that works, really, quite frankly. But bottom line, I was the one taking those gray hair and charging for an hour. An hour of me playing with your head, I will charge you, like a kid, like nothing really, big deal. But the fact is that I was always looking around to do something. And that's the reason that my grandmother used to call me Chompipita Rebuscona. And when she died, and I used to take, the meals for her, my aunt used to send like the soup to her, because in my country we believe highly in soup, food being the healing properties for us. You know what I mean? We, especially the old generations, they have soups for every disease in the world. You know what I mean? Oh, you have problem with your this, let me make this type of soup. You have problem with this, let me make this type of soup. And we always end up healing with soup. It sounds funny, but literally, I don't know what those, maybe the love that they put on those soup that heals us, but literally, I am an extreme believer, and I been there, okay? So thanks to those mamas that always cook those delicious soups, and which were highly effective on healing not only our tummies but our hearts. And bottom line is, like, it's time for us to do something, and it's time for us to do something beautiful. It's time for us to leave something beautiful to our children, and money is not one of them, okay, guys? So I want you guys to do something nice for somebody that you don't even know. Just something nice. It doesn't have to be because